You're watching ABC7 News at 11.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter. Topping our news tonight, one Sarasota County family is pushing for change at what they call a dangerous school bus stop. The family says their son was recently hit by a car just down the road from the bus stop in Venice. ABC7's Rick Adams has more details.
Well, some folks say this is the area that's a dangerous location for a school bus stop. One local family continues their push for a change.
It was really scary for me.
11-year-old Nate Whitehead had a very frightening moment last Tuesday when he says that he was struck by a hit-and-run driver while riding his bike home from the school bus stop at Minnesota Beach Road and Venezuela Road.
I was riding home and a person came up behind me and hit my wheel and then hit my hip and flew off basically. And when it hit my hip, I went head over heels into a ditch.
Nate tells us he did suffer minor injuries. His mom, Melissa, says this is a very dangerous place to put a school bus stop.
I think they need to move it somewhere else. I don't think it needs to be after a blind curve, the first road after a blind curve where people are going so fast.
Melissa Whitehead has contacted the Sarasota County School District about this problem, and she was just informed that her son should be using a different school bus stop at Overbrook Road and Forked Creek Drive, which she says is a little further away from her Inglewood home and just as dangerous. Either way, she hopes that the school district takes action with this Minnesota Beach Road bus stop before someone else gets hurt.
I don't feel safe for my child getting dropped off at this location.
In a text message that we had received from the Sarasota County School District, in part it says the school district will look into this matter as quickly as possible to ensure the family has options to get their son home from school as safely as possible. We are thankful he didn't sustain major injuries as a result of a hit and run on his way home after he left the bus stop. The hit and run driver still remains at large. The Whiteheads are hopeful that the vehicle and the driver involved will be found soon.
I think they should put the bus stop at a safer location and maybe even put sidewalks.
And since the Sarasota County School District is on spring break, there is nobody available to come on camera to comment about this. The students and the buses return to school on Monday, April 2nd. Reporting from South Venice, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Okay, Rick, thanks for that update. Roads are back open on Minnesota Key at the scene of an accident between two motorcycles and a truck. Both lanes of the road were closed for several hours this evening. One person was airlifted to the hospital. We will continue to keep you updated on this story as developments come into our newsroom. And a follow-up now to a story we first brought you last week. Manatee County EMS is considering changing its policy after a man's dead body was left on the side of the road for hours. Manatee County EMS and Manatee County Sheriff Rick Wells plan to discuss improving current EMS policy to ensure what happened to Ty Ross's body does not happen again. EMS left the 78-year-old's body on the side of the road near Palmasola Marina with a sheriff's deputy after he suffered a heart attack and EMS could not revive him. His body laid there under a sheet for hours until the family got a hold of a funeral home to pick him up. Northport police are looking for a man who tried to steal more than $700 worth of items from Walmart. He had his cart full of merchandise. While leaving the store, he was approached and then ran off. If you have any details that could help identify the man in these pictures, you're being asked to contact the Northport PD. And an arrest has been made in a stabbing outside a Sarasota restaurant this weekend. The victim had stab wounds in the chest and forearm. Dennis Preto was arrested and charged with 1 count of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. The investigation claims Preto and the victim allegedly got into a fight. He is currently being held without bond at the Sarasota County Jail. And Sarasota Memorial Hospital is hosting a huge blood drive until Thursday. SMH needs 800 pints of blood per month, but only gets around 50 pints per month at their blood drives. Those who do go and donate will get a free Tervis tumbler, a free wellness check, and be eligible for raffle prizes, including an Amazon Echo. SMH will be drawing blood tomorrow from 8 to 5 and in the first floor auditorium on Wednesday and Thursday from 10 to 7. Make sure to bring a photo ID. An affordable housing project in Venice could soon get underway this year. The subsidized family housing component of the Venetian Walk complex will complete the replacement of the former Grove Terrace community. The development partner of the Venice Housing Authority is hoping to start construction around December and be finished by next July. That project was approved for tax credit funding last year, but the Housing Authority had to wait until legal challenges were resolved. Also in Venice,
3 phone calls on my phone when I came in this morning from people that are either homeless or about to be homeless or just can't make it anymore.
Construction is set to begin early of 2019 with the first of 5 buildings opening in March of 2020. And the city of Venice is also considering a new program to replace backflow preventers. The equipment is used to pump drinking water into homes, but the city prefers that the preventers be inspected and replaced every 10 years. However, that has not been a policy in place to handle that. Tomorrow, the City of Venice Utilities Director will ask City Council for nearly $300,000 to replace aging preventers. Well, a beautiful day here on the Suncoast. Let's check in with Steve Newman, who's filling in for Bob tonight. And Steve, it was just gorgeous if you were out and about for dinner.
Well, you were mentioning even early this morning it was warm. It was really humid because the moisture is pumped back in after that dry, crisp air we had last week. We had a very weak front that's dissipating over the southern part of the state right now. You can kind of see the air mass blowing out away from the main state. There's some scattered clouds and scattered showers to the eastern part of Florida. We had a much better day here and a warmer day by far. If you're heading to the beach tomorrow, what a great day to be on the water, especially if you're sailing. East winds at 15 knots, seas 2 feet, a moderate chop on bay and inland waters. The water temperature 69 will probably be in the low 70s in a couple of weeks or a couple of days, 80 the beach temperature. Here's the overnight temperature trend into the 60s as we move through the overnight hours. Our full forecast coming up. Jacqueline?
Steve, 2 people in South Florida are behind bars tonight, accused of stealing toys and other items from the memorial outside of Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Broward County Sheriff's deputies arrested Kara O'Neill and Michael Kennedy last night after witnesses say they saw the 2 taking items from the memorial outside of the Parkland High School. Kennedy argued in court that the memorial outside the school is neither a tomb nor a monument.
Yes, Judge. I believe that the charged document has insufficient facial evidence, and it just doesn't meet the elements, Judge.
Well, the judge was not buying his explanation, so he and his alleged accomplice are now being charged with a 3rd-degree felony, and they have been ordered to stay away from Stoneman Douglas. A Florida congresswoman is working on a new bill that would mandate background checks on ammunition purchases. Today, Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz spoke about the bill that would require ammunition buyers to undergo instant background checks. She says that Saturday's marches to support more gun control laws are just the beginning of a new movement.
I can assure you that that Saturday was day 1. Saturday was a launch pad. So anyone that thinks that that was the end is sadly mistaken.
Among those supporting the bill are the Broward County Mayor, the Pembroke Pines Mayor, and a host of students and teachers from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Governor Rick Scott has signed the bill that would let Florida stay on daylight saving time all year long. The change would translate into later sunrises, which supporters say would benefit the state's tourism industry. However, the Florida Parent Teacher Association is against the change because more children would be going to school in the dark. The Sunshine Protection Act still needs congressional approval. And a new Florida law changes the state insurance code to make clear that direct primary care agreements do not go against insurance laws. Under direct primary care agreements, doctors charge patients monthly fees in advance of providing services, with patients then able to access services at no extra cost. The law does not spell out, however, how much can be charged or what services need to be included in those agreements. And Governor Rick Scott tweeting a big announcement coming on April 9th. There is a bit of speculation that he will launch a Senate bid to challenge incumbent Democratic Senator Bill Nelson in November. Scott has long been courted by national Republicans and President Donald Trump to run against Nelson. He says he will make that announcement on Facebook Live. And the Manatee Kennel Club is donating money to help the Manatee County Sheriff's Office get a new canine officer. The Kennel Club donated nearly $14,000 for their newest canine, Ron, who's set to start training next week.
He'll be a dual-purpose dog, which means both apprehension and then he'll locate explosives. It's probably going to take every bit of 6 months for that.
The 14-month-old canine is the second canine that the Kennel Club has given to the Sheriff's Office. Over the last 3 years, nearly 700 criminals have been caught, all thanks to the county's canine officers. Well, stay with us. Meteorologist Steve Newman will be back with your first alert forecast, plus what the majority of Americans say they're putting their tax refunds to good use. And Android users are upset at Facebook after the company revealed it collected data from users. How you can check exactly what Facebook knows about you.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt will leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you too.
We all love our kids and want what's best for them. You have the power to help your kids learn to succeed in life every day. When you promote a love for learning at home, children build the skills they need to be ready for school. You can be their everyday hero. It's easy. Just text Everyday Hero to 77453 for simple learning tips.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Well, it was a gorgeous evening out there tonight when you were heading home or, you know, coming back from work. It was very nice.
But the wind is blowing in some spots. I mean, it's really a significant thing. It's generally not this breezy in the evening, but we are getting it tonight. It's going to be around a while. If you looked over the bay, now this is looking eastward from our Lakewood Ranch cam today, and you can see a lot of clouds during the day. But look what happens late in the afternoon and the heat of the day goes down. The sky's pretty much cleared. All the sprinkles that were over the central part of the state have died down, and things are calming down, except for the wind, which is still blowing easterly at 9 miles an hour, but feels stronger than that to me. 62 the dew point, so the moisture is back up a little, but it's not uncomfortable yet. But we were having dew points in the 30s and 40s late last week. 70 the current temperature at the airport. We made it up to within 2 degrees of the record high for the state today, 86 the high, 88 the record set back in 2007. Let's take a look at the state and see where the hottest spot was. It was not here, but the southern part of Florida, pretty much in the 80s, but Punta Gorda came in with 90 for the state's warmest temperature. Even Northport 88, 87 at Inglewood, 86 at Venice, and Lake Placid 85. So you can see it was definitely a warm day. Maybe not quite as warm as that tomorrow, but we'll see. Look at the strong winds at this hour blowing offshore from the Atlantic all the way across the state. And the showers they had over there, the moisture causing those sprinkles, was really a shallow layer, so it really didn't have a chance to make it all the way over here. It got rained out before it reached the Gulf Coast. Also anywhere from 10 to 15 miles an hour in southern Sarasota County and Charlotte County at 11 o'clock. Taking a look at the national weather scene, the big trouble spot right now from Oklahoma back to Texas. The Storm Prediction Center thinks there's a really good possibility of some strong storms, maybe some short-lived tornadoes overnight. And this will all shift eastward toward Dallas overnight and tomorrow morning, really hitting the Dallas-Fort Worth area by early to mid-afternoon tomorrow, it looks like right now. Severe thunderstorm watch back there and some hefty storms moving up toward Ardmore, Oklahoma. All part of this big storm system brewing in the Midwest. To the north of it, snow falling in the western Great Lakes and parts of Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. And high pressure is building in over California. They doubled their snowpack in March, which is a great thing because it doesn't rain out there all summer long. So they need that snowpack so they don't have to have water rationing. So they're in good shape, not great shape, but good shape right now. Here, look at temperatures across the nation at this hour. 81 in Monterey, Mexico. We had 80s and 90s down here, which is fueling those storms across Texas, and it'll fuel them again tomorrow. Taking a look at our futurecast. There's that front that came through the back door, came in this way, so it didn't have a really strong impact on us. Well, it's going to dissipate even further as it moves southward tomorrow. High pressure building back down over the southeastern United States will ensure that that easterly flow will continue, keeping it moist, keeping it warm, not too moist, right on through this week. Here's my forecast for tonight. Partly cloudy, breezy, and mild, 64, with those east-northeast winds at 10. And tomorrow, a beautiful day, a partly sunny day as we look out over Bradenton. Partly sunny, high 83, the average high 78. So again, warmer than normal, but look at those wind gusts up to 20. It's going to be breezy again tomorrow. Here's your 7-day, takes us into Easter and beyond. Breezy tomorrow, maybe not quite as windy on Wednesday. Then they return Thursday and Friday in advance of a cold front that will come through, bringing us a chance of showers Friday, late evening to early Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, great. Sunday, beautiful. Easter Sunday, high 81 degrees. That's your weather, Jacqueline.
Okay, thanks, Steve. Sounds nice. Linda Brown, who was the child at the center of the historic Brown versus Board of Education case, has passed away. Brown died yesterday in Topeka, Kansas at 75 years old. Decades ago, her family sued the Topeka Board of Education for blocking her enrollment at an all-white elementary school. 4 similar cases were then combined and presented to the U.S. Supreme Court as Brown versus Board of Education. The court's landmark ruling on May 17th of 1954 led to the desegregation of the U.S. education system. In consumer news tonight, this year the majority of people doing their taxes will get some sort of refund. This according to a new study that also says many of those people plan to put some of their funds into savings. According to a SunTrust Bank survey, 22% of what Uncle Sam gives back will go towards travel and entertainment, 18% toward things like groceries and clothing, 13% on home improvements, and the majority of that money will go towards savings and paying off debt.
As you think about receiving this refund this year, we recommend certainly don't spend it until you actually receive it. That's a good thing, until it arrives.
To simply save, immediately move your refund out of your checking account and into your savings. That way you are not tempted to splurge on anything. Well, Android users are furious after Facebook revealed it collected data on phone calls and messages from some users. This affects people who installed Facebook Messenger or Facebook Lite. Samuel Burke shows us how we can check exactly how much Facebook knows about us.
Facebook is keeping records of every phone call and text message you've sent. That's the surprise some Android users are discovering as people across the globe start taking a closer look at the data tech companies are collecting about all of us. If you want to see everything that Facebook knows about you, just go to the upper right-hand corner and scroll down to Settings. That'll take you to this page where you'll click Download a copy of your Facebook data, then click Start My Archive, and Facebook will email you a copy of all the intimate details the social network knows about you. Inside that file, Android users are seeing Facebook has been collecting logs of all their phone calls and text messages for years. Android maker Google hasn't responded to our request for comment, but Facebook says Android users explicitly opt in for this feature when they download its Messenger app or a slimmed-down version of the social network, an app called Facebook Lite. Facebook says they do this so Android users can find people more easily, but they don't explain why they take the extra step of saving the data on their servers. Users who don't realize they've been sharing this data are getting a rude awakening when they delete their Facebook accounts and look through this archived data for the first time. Oh wow, my deleted Facebook zip file contains info on every single cell phone call and text I made for about a year. Cool, totally not creepy. Even users who don't have the main Facebook app on their phone are finding out they've given over their call and text message logs too. Don't have Facebook installed, but I do use Messenger and Instagram. Interestingly, they only tracked when I rang my parents and girlfriend. I've never used Messenger in regards to my parents. Weird. A new Reuters Ipsos poll shows that only 41% of Americans trust Facebook to obey US privacy laws. Facebook says you can opt out of this feature at any time and they'll delete all the call and text message logs they have saved about you. To do that, Android users will have to go to Home, tap on their profile picture, then tap People, and under Synced Contacts, that setting can be turned on or off. And with the tech giant under scrutiny, every piece of data we share with the company, knowingly or not, is getting a second look. Samuel Burke, CNN, London.
Doggy parents, listen up. 2 types of Milo's Kitchen dog treats are under a voluntary recall. The steak grillers with Angus steak and the grilled burger bites have a higher than normal amount of thyroid hormone. Dogs eating high levels of beef thyroid hormone could have symptoms like increased thirst and urination, weight loss, increased heart rate, and restlessness. If you are feeding any of these foods to your pets, you should stop immediately. Well, sports is next, but first, here's what's coming up on Jimmy Kimmel.
Tonight, it's an instant Kimmel classic. Correct. And we're crazy for Charlize Theron.
What is Charlize Theron doing here?
Plus, our buddy Josh Duhamel. Come on. And look who we found on Hollywood Boulevard. I'm winning. Kimmel, tonight on ABC.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. It's gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
I'm Deshauna Barber. In 2016, I was proud to win the title of Miss USA. What makes me just as proud is my service in the U.S. military. In the service, a soldier gains skills and learns values like discipline and leadership. That makes them an asset to any business that hires them. If you're an employer, on behalf of Coalition to Salute America's Heroes, remember to hire smart and bet on a vet. Visit saluteheroes.org or call this number to learn more.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses. You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon? You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Everything all right? Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs.
but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Watch ABC7 wherever you are. Just search ABC7 on your streaming device to keep up with the Suncoast from the comfort of your couch. Download ABC7 now to watch us on TV anytime you want. ABC7, we're here for you wherever you are. Now, sports.
Baseball's opening day is later this week, and that means the end of spring training here on the Suncoast. The Baltimore Orioles say that even though attendance was down this year, they still welcomed more than 100,000 fans to Ed Smith Stadium for the 8th time in 9 seasons. The Orioles had 6 sellouts this spring, and the team has now hosted nearly 1 million fans at Ed Smith since the Orioles moved to Sarasota 9 years ago. And while the Orioles played an exhibition game with their AAA team in Norfolk, the Pirates played their final game at Lecom Park in Bradenton today. The Pirates lost to the Phillies tonight, 6-3. The regular season begins on Thursday. And the Tampa Bay Lightning are at home tonight, taking on the team with the worst record in the Western Conference, the Arizona Coyotes. The score was tied at the end of the first period. However, the Bolts would go into the second intermission down 2-0. Nikita Kucherov would net a goal in the third, but it would not be enough as Tampa loses this game 4-1. That's a look at sports. We'll have tonight's winning lotto numbers straight ahead.
Just had a very educational ride with Nina.
Did you learn anything?
Where do I begin? So all this stuff goes into a safety check.
Yep.
It's a long list.
It's important stuff.
Test the smoke detector.
Yep.
Check the breaker box.
Yep.
Meter the GFCIs.
Ground fault circuit interrupters.
Why do that?
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Nina, you make it look easy.
Thanks, but don't do it yourself.
Who's your guy?
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Thank you.
What are you doing? You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face, in your face, in
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
ABC7 News at 7 weeknights. The Florida Lottery winning numbers are sponsored by Frontier Fios.
An Uber driver in San Francisco made a wrong turn and got stuck on a pedestrian staircase outside a grocery store on Monday. Take a look. Police called it a freak accident after a tow truck came to pull it out. The cord snapped and the car slid down. It crashed into a trash can and came to a final stop when it hit a fire hydrant. There were several passengers inside, but no injuries were reported, so that is some good news.
And taking a look at the overnight planner, we'll cool off through the 60s to the evening hours, and the next 7 days look absolutely wonderful if you're down here vacationing. Temperatures in the low 80s, maybe some showers Friday night, Saturday, but Easter Sunday looks great. John Scalzi will have a complete weather forecast on Good Morning Suncoast coming up in about 6 hours.
All right, thank you so much, Steve. I'm sure the spring breakers are loving this weather.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a lovely evening.